y'all? So my story is continuing on. I just told you how I gave birth to my second daughter in false labor. It was crazy. She came out this tiny little cute adorable thing. She stole my heart. She looked just like Zach, but that faded very quickly. So no worries there. She just turned into her own little gorgeous self. I don't know. I loved her so much. She was not like her big sister, though. They are so much different. She never really slept. She was always awake, and it was crazy because I was co-sleeping. I was co-sleeping with my daughter. I mean, I had no choice. I was living in a tiny bedroom with her. And then, we moved into an apartment, which was a one-bedroom apartment, and all we had was a futon. We didn't even have a bed in the bedroom. It was just an empty bedroom. So I was co-sleeping with my 2-year-old, and with my baby, I was able to get a bassinet that I could carry around, and I would sleep with her in that bassinet. But also during this time, I want to give credit where credit is due. Because of the DNA test, Zach had to start sending me child support checks. So he was sending me about $300 a month, and it was helping so much. It was so needed. And yeah, but I needed a job. I was no longer working at the photo place, and I needed a job. And the type of jobs that I'm good at, that I've always been able to do, is daycare. So I have some daycare experience. I went to a daycare and they were like, yes, I want to hire you on. The thing about daycares is everybody wants to work the infants. Nobody wants to work the toddlers. I have a soul that if I see everybody wants to go left, I have to go right. I don't know why. I desperately want to belong. I want to be a part of the group. But if the group goes this way, I'm forced to go this way. I don't know why it works out that way, honestly, but it just does. So everybody wants to work in the infants. And so I'm like, give me the toddlers. Give me the most unruly toddlers. And I work with them so well. And I did such a great job. I mean, I'm not trying to pat myself on the back or anything, but I did a really good job with this one little girl who, I guess she was really unruly for everyone else. She was a little redheaded girl, and I just loved her to death. But her mom came and told me that she has 4 kids, and she needs a full-time nanny. She doesn't want to send them to daycare anymore. She wants a full-time nanny, and that they even have like this little guest house area that I can stay in with my kids. And I was so happy to take that job. I was so happy to take that job. And so I moved in with this family of, like, they had 4 kids, 4, 5, 6, family of 6. And wow. And she was pregnant. She was having a baby. Her baby was born right after my baby. And so I had 2 babies, my baby and her baby. And then I had the unruly toddler who listened to me really well. And then we had the 5-year-old little boy who was, oh my gosh, so adorable. And honestly, I would sit down and play video games with him most of the day if I wasn't, doing some chore, taking care of the baby. So I really loved that job. I would come up with arts and crafts for us to do. Oh, and there was a 7-year-old girl, and I would put her on the bus, get her off to school and everything. And yeah, I would come up with arts and crafts for us to do during spring break. We had lots of fun. Now, the thing about this family, though, is they were Jehovah's Witnesses, and I never knew exactly what a Jehovah's Witness was. I'd only been witness to. And for me, do you know where you're going if you die today? Yeah, I'm going to heaven. I've always thought that, but I've questioned it in my life at times. But when I'm being asked by Jehovah's Witness, I'm like, I'm good. I know Jesus, I'm good. I didn't realize how different they are. They don't celebrate any of the holidays or anything. And I thought that, I would feel sorry for these kids, but these kids were enjoying their life, It wasn't a bad thing, really. And there was a couple times that I went to Kingdom Hall with them as their nanny. I would go to Kingdom Hall and we would sit in the top balcony area where there's glass behind us, so we wouldn't be disturbing the people, I guess. But so that was interesting. I really am grateful for my time of getting to know what a Jehovah's Witness is, if that makes sense. I'm grateful for my time with that family. But the thing is, I wanted my own family. I knew that I couldn't be a nanny and raise my kids as a nanny. I knew that that wasn't going to work. That wasn't going to make me happy. I wanted my own family. I really wanted my own. And I knew that I would not be able to attract the right man unless I did some healing work. So, as I was working as a nanny, I began to do a lot of healing work. Whenever I left Zach, that was so hard for me, guys. It was so hard. I wasn't just leaving him, I was leaving his whole family. And it was like, because of my childhood and my childhood wounds of abandonment and such as that, it felt like this whole family lied to me. There's people in this family that told me, I'll always be your friend. I love you so much, Misty, and you'll always be one of us. And I'm just not anymore. And it felt like a deep betrayal from multiple people, plus Zach. I mean, you guys, I'm not gonna lie. I'm sitting here, I don't have feelings for Zach anymore. I could care less about him. But I don't know if I could care less about him. For the most part, I really don't care. But it did hurt me. I was in love with him. I did love him. I gave him my heart. I gave him my all. I wanted for us to be a family, and it really hurt me that we could never, ever be a family. And when I left him, I was like, I've got to protect my heart. And I metaphorically wrapped my heart in barbed wire because it was just so, it was in so much pain anyway, that the next person that wants to get to my heart is going to have to get through the barbed wire. And then after I wrapped it in barbed wire, I wrap it in chains, I wrap it in, leather stuff, and then I throw it in a safe and I lock the safe up, and then I put the safe in, a bigger safe with a different type of lock, and then I put that inside of a tower, and I raise the tower, and I put a moat around the tower, a moat of piranhas, and then a moat of alligators, and then a moat of sharks. Why not? A saltwater shark moat too. And then I put a freaking big wall around it, just huge. And you would have to climb this wall, and I put barbed wire all over the wall, put vines, rose vines with thorns all over the wall. So you had to climb these thorny vines and walls to get to my heart. And then you'd have to go through the moat of sharks, and there's no path to the tower. I didn't make no path because there shouldn't be a path. You have to go through all of this to get to me. You're going to have to go through the moat of sharks, the alligators, and the piranhas. You're going to have to climb the tower. There is no Rapunzel inside to let her hair down. You're going to have to climb that tower if you want to get in. And then it's going to be a locked window behind a locked door before you can even get in. And then you're going to have to open the safe, and you're going to have to open the other safe, and open the other safe. And then whenever you get in, you're going to have to unwrap it. You're going to have to untangle it. And then you're going to have to, you'll be stuck with a bleeding heart full of barbed wire. That you have to take the barbed wire out in order to get to me. It felt safe. Guys, it felt safe. And it worked. I needed that. I think I needed that for a time in order to raise my daughter, give birth to my daughter, and come up on my feet, to find my path and my way. I needed my heart to be that guarded, and it was hurting anyway, and it hurt the whole time. But I knew that if what I want is a loving relationship with a good man, I can't make him go through all that. I'm ruining my chances with a good guy by locking my heart up like this. And I knew I wouldn't find a guy as long as my heart is locked up like this. So I did multiple meditations of taking down the towers. And I mean, I took my time, guys. I took my time with this. Day after day after day, going in, taking down the towers, the bricks, examining the meaning of the bricks, the meaning of the thorns. I had to go through and weed kill all my thorns. And yeah, examining what they meant, why so thorny. Had to go through and examine why the saltwater moat, why the sharks, what do the sharks represent for me? And I mean, I journaled all this out. What do the sharks represent? Why were they there? Why do I need to get rid of them? What am I going to replace them with? I replaced the wall with a beautiful forest, because honestly, we do need our heart to be guarded, and a forest is something that a good guy can walk through and be tested in. So a beautiful enchanted forest, and I replaced the saltwater moat with a nice comforting stream of water. And I don't know what all I did, but I went through every single part all the way down to unwrapping my heart. And whenever I unwrapped the barbed wire, I saw that there were holes in it, and I saw how naive I was to believe that I could find more love while keeping my heart broke. Wrapping it in barbed wire did that. It kept my heart broke. And through this healing work, I was just guided by spirit to do this, guys. It's just like, I want this, my goal is family. How do I get there? And it's just like, you got to heal. And you got to heal that fortress heart. And I'm like, what? It's like, yeah. And so I just started going into it. And I knew that everything had a metaphor. I did this out of haste. It was like, fine, you can't have me. I'm going to do this. Boom! My heart's guarded, like. But anyway, yeah, I went through all of it, and I unlocked my heart, and I created a heart garden with gates that you do have to go through, but they're not necessarily impenetrable gates. You just need to find the key. You gotta have the key. And yeah, after I freed my heart, and I gave my heart lots of healing time, you guys, lots of healing time. One interesting thing that happened during this time. I'm almost out of time, guys. Okay. Zach happened to call me after I had freed my heart and everything. He called me, and it was really weird because, I'm trying to get over him, and I feel kind of over him, and he calls me up, and what he says is, you guys need to realize, at this time, I'm living on the third story of this apartment complex with a toddler and a baby. So I'm carrying around the freaking car seat and the baby and the toddler. And every time I go grocery shopping, literally I've got to get to my place where I park, there's stairs that go down, and then I have to go up 3 flights of stairs. So what I do is I unload, I let my toddler out and try to keep an eye on her, and I put my car seat at the top of the stairs, put all my groceries at the top of the stairs, and then I move car seat to the bottom of the stairs, all the groceries to the bottom of the stairs, and then I move car seat to the bottom of, the going up, and every single flight of stairs, I do that one at a time. Car seat, groceries, car seat, groceries. This is how I'm living, and I'm barely living. And Zach calls me up, and I'm trying to heal myself through all this. He calls me up, and he says that he found out that I was in Colorado, and he went after me. He came after me, and he got stuck in Texas. He gets stuck in Texas, and he meets a girl, and she's just the best girl ever. He's so happy to have her. In fact, he's thinking about marrying her. He never thought about marrying me until the very end, but whatever. But the problem is, She's saying she wants his kid, and he doesn't want any more kids, and she should know better because he doesn't want anything to do with my kids, and I need to tell her how much he's not a good dad and doesn't want kids, so that he can be with her how he wants. And I was just like, I don't know what to tell you, Zach. I don't know what to say. Sorry. I hope that y'all have a happy relationship. The way that I reacted to that, it did let me know. Because it did hurt. I'm not going to lie. It did hurt. But at the same time, it was like, okay. I'm glad you got caught. I'm glad you didn't make it. So glad you got caught. I'm healing me. And that's what I was doing. Is healing me. So, you guys, thank you for sticking with me today and listening to my story this time. It's about to get really crazy. So, stick around, and thank you so much for watching. And as always, be blessed with love. My story. That's all she got.